Red Bull could be facing another big issue in 2026, and a key performance update on Cadillac has been issued. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Let's jump straight into it, and we'll start with Cadillac, and I think they've got off to a really good start to this year. Yes, they're one of the slowest teams and at the back of the grid. However, their entry to Formula 1 was only announced at the end of 2024, and I think they've done a really good job. They've produced a fairly reliable car, it can finish races, and on top of that, the team finished as high as 13th in China with Valtteri Bottas. So I think Cadillac have done a really good job this year, and the team is now shifting its focus on finding performance. Now, in Suzuka, qualifying showed that the team is lacking around 1.2 seconds to the bottom of the midfield, and while that seems like a lot, as I say, Cadillac's entry to Formula 1 was only announced at the end of 2024, so it's a respectable gap. But having already introduced minor upgrades in Japan, Perez is hoping the team's Miami upgrades next month will deliver a much larger step, with him saying, as quoted by motorsport.com, "When I was racing the Williams, the Alpine, I could see that they're not too far away. They're just able to consistently keep finding pace and pace. It's clear that we need a second now, and I really hope that we're bringing a big upgrade for Miami. That will be the biggest test for the team. I think we've been progressing every Grand Prix. This is the first Grand Prix that more or less everything has been straightforward, so I really hope that we can make that step to be in the mix with the midfield. I think there's a lot of areas, but I think at the moment the main one is load. It's where we're lacking most. Balance itself is not too bad, it's just that we're lacking the load." Now, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss my Formula 1 content. Recently I hit 45,000 subscribers. That means so much to me. Thank you so much for your support. So let's move on to Red Bull, and while they've had a really difficult start to 2026. In Australia, they look like a team that could compete for second in the Constructors, but China and Japan showed they're a long way off Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren. They have got so much work to do. I mean, right now in the Constructors, Red Bull are behind Haas and Alpine. Now, as we know, in 2026, the power units are brand new, and in the new regulatory cycle, one of the most delicate elements is not only the pure performance of the power units, but also their strategic management in relation to the additional development and upgrade opportunity system. Basically, from Australia onwards, the FIA has been measuring the performance of power units through a dedicated index based on how much brake horsepower the internal combustion engine produces, comparing each manufacturer to the current benchmark, which is clearly the Mercedes power unit. And an engine manufacturer qualifies for additional upgrade opportunities by falling into one of two performance windows. If it's between 2% and 4% off the benchmark, it's allowed to make one upgrade later in the year and another for 2027. If it's 4% off or more, two upgrades later in the year and two in 2027 are permitted. Now, as we know, Red Bull are producing their own power units for the first time in 2026, and while you would think they would qualify for this upgrade, interestingly though, a new report has emerged, with it being said that Red Bull are understood to have the best engine on the grid after Mercedes. As a result, they may be ineligible for mid-season engine upgrades via ADUO. Now, that would be really bad news for Red Bull if they can't upgrade the engine because they're too close to the benchmark. At the same time though, you wouldn't expect this in 2026. I mean, for me, given Red Bull are producing their own power units for the first time, I thought it'd be the car that would be really good this year, but the engine that would let Red Bull down. But as we've seen, Red Bull have really struggled with their car in 2026, and while based on what's been reported, it looks like it could be the other way around. It's the engine that's fine and not the car, and this would put Red Bull, I think, in a difficult place. You know, if you can't upgrade the engine and are struggling to find performance in the car, well, that's going to be really tough for Red Bull. Now, all this comes following the incredible comeback Max Verstappen pulled off in 2025. As we know, he was over 100 points behind the McLarens at the summer break, but he finished just 2 points behind Lando Norris in the standings. So an incredible comeback from Verstappen and Red Bull. Now, the decision to continue investing in 2025 was made by Red Bull team boss Laurent Mekies soon after he took over the team principal role, although he's now admitted that Red Bull is currently paying the price for its decision to develop its 2025 car late into the season last year. With him speaking on the Beyond the Grid podcast, as quoted by Racing News 365, "We thought and we still think it was the right thing to do. We felt that turning the page to 2026 would have been a little bit of an easy escape and a wishful thinking that next year will be better, even though we didn't fully understand what were the limitations of 2025. We didn't think it was the right way. Now, of course, the time and energy we invested for the late push last year, does it have an impact on where you start 2026? Of course it does. Of course, we pay a bit of the price today. Do we use it as an excuse? No, we're not happy with the starting point, but we think we'll get through these difficulties. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.